Welcome back. Today we are doing the Different Faces Challenge, the Disney edition, and we are on a new princess, which is Sleeping Beauty. Now, I didn't speed this video up because she has a pretty generic face shape. There's not a lot of definition, especially in the earlier animated films, but really out of all of them, there's not a lot of definition, which is fine. It makes it a little bit easier to make the sim. Looking at her face, I do think she was based on a lot of actresses, probably from the early 50s, like especially some of her expressions are very Marilyn Monroe to me, with the long eyelashes, the way that she does her eyebrow. Because you can't see the eyebrow, I did it off screen, but you can't really see it underneath her hair. I was glad that I found that hair, because the clay hair kind of works for Disney. And I know on Mod The Sims there is a set that has the actual hair and the dress, but it's so old and just, it doesn't look good. I wanted to do her like forest outfit, but I just didn't have the right CC for it. I did have the black headband, but I didn't have the right outfit, so I went with this one instead, and instead of that chunky necklace, I gave her like a thorny looking one as a reference to the movie. But yeah, she was fairly easy to do. I did have to change her skin tone just because that one has kind of a weird eyelid, and so it gets really crunchy. But I wanted something kind of weathered in a way because she did grow up in the forest. She wasn't like pampered princess. They definitely didn't have sunscreen. Like, she should have some color on her face. She should look like she's been outdoors. And I do love that she has violet eyes. Not in every single screenshot. Some screenshots her eyes are like solid black, but in some of them, it's like they changed in the film. I don't know why. Usually Disney's pretty good, but sometimes they're violet and sometimes they're black. I went with violet just because it's a little bit more interesting. I am going to say after doing my Cinderella Smashdown, I'm incredibly concerned about these cheekbones. Because our Smashdown, or not, yeah, it was Cinderella. Our Cinderella looks like she got all the buccal fat removal. She looks like she had her lips done. Like, I'm concerned. But this Sleeping Beauty had some cheekbones on her. Like, that was one of the defining features, is big eyes, cheekbones, eyelashes, like, that's who she is. And I just gave her the pretty typical dainty nose. Her mouth I defined a little bit more because I was taking inspiration from, again, these 50s actresses, just various ones, no one in particular. I said Marilyn, but like not just Marilyn. And yeah, I wanted to make sure I gave her the eyelashes because she had them. And I didn't like the lip texture, so I just put like a little gloss on there. But she was pretty easy to make. I foresee some challenging ones. I'm not really sure. I was surprised by the brunette Cinderellas. There was quite a few of them, so I'm not really sure what we're gonna get, because Sleeping Beauty is also not very defined in terms of her features. So far, only Snow White is really, she must look this way, and even some of them deviated. So I'm curious to see, because there are, let me look at my list. As of right now, there are 35 Sleeping Beauties. I haven't researched further. Sometimes what happens is I'll make this list and then I'll go to make the sim and there's just not good screenshots. And I'm not going to look for all these at a time. That's too much time. Like that would ruin my day. But yeah, sometimes I find them and I'm like, oh, this is not going to work. And so then I cut them from the list. That's usually when the cutting happens. I'll do an initial cut, especially with Cinderella and some of the more problematic adaptations in terms of things that happened in the 40s. But yeah, I don't foresee that being an issue with Sleeping Beauty, but who knows? I'm trying to see which is the oldest one. I've got a 49. I think that might be the oldest, is 1949. There's a 55. But I don't know. We'll find out. I'm really excited about this. She was my favorite growing up. Everyone always thinks it's Belle because of the books. And I'm like, yeah, I do like Belle, but there's just something about Sleeping Beauty that I really latched onto when I was a little kid. Like, that was just it for me. It was everything. And yeah, I'm really excited to make all these versions of her and to hopefully get away from the pop princesses and the prom dresses. I have a feeling I won't escape the prom dresses, but maybe we won't have to make any more pop princesses for a while because Cinderella was chock full of them. And I'm tired. I don't want to do any more. I'm just fiddling with her nose at this point. I was glad that the image that you see when you click the video, that's actually a background from the movie. I did have to blur it a little bit because I had to increase the size and it got funky, but I think it looks okay and I'm glad that I got to use it. But all that said, I'm basically done with Sleeping Beauty. Let me know what you think of her. Let me know who your favorite princess is. I'm always curious, and if there's any particular renditions you're excited to see. And I'll see you in the next one.